Hi everyone, it's time for a Football-Oranje preview of Tunisia versus the Netherlands. I'm Michael, joined by Abdul, Mike, and special guest Finn, who was on our podcast before. Finn is on Football-Oranje, who also likes to talk about the Dutch national team in English. So Finn, how are you?
Yeah, I'm good, thanks. I'm good. It's pretty brutal weather today in England with the heat, so a little sweaty, but no, I'm good. Excited to talk about a more positive feeling around the Dutch national team than before the World Cup.
Great.
Yeah, we'll get stuck into it. So we've coming to this off the back of a 5-1 win over Sweden. We'll talk about the Tunisia game, maybe some changes in store for the Netherlands, a little bit of reaction in the media to how the Sweden game went and going to this one. Maybe look ahead to how the Netherlands could shape up in the knockout rounds. But yeah, you might be listening to this on YouTube and looking at us, or you might be listening to this on Spotify, Acast, or Apple. Get involved on YouTube in the comments and let us know what you're thinking ahead of the game. It's been lovely to have your interaction throughout this World Cup so far. So then, Tunisia, they haven't had a great World Cup. They've lost both of their games by heavy margins. Looks like a chance for Netherlands to score a few goals themselves. That could be important if they want to finish top of the group. Japan will play Sweden at the same time. And this will be obviously pivotal to where the Netherlands go after this, which routes they take to the final. Should they finish first, second, or third in the group? But I just wonder what your guys' feelings are. Mike, should we start with you? How are you feeling ahead of this? Is this a chance to rotate some players?
Yeah, like when I think about this game, I don't want to be too disrespectful to this Tunisia side, but this game's kind of like how much we're going to win by, how much of a struggle is it going to be. Before the tournament when we played against Algeria and Uzbekistan, if Tunisia was the first game, I might have been a bit worried, but having seen them in action, there doesn't seem to have been any sort of positivity from changing the coach. They lost pretty heavily to Japan. I watched that game and I thought Japan were great again. It kind of puts into perspective, yes, we're a bit downbeat after the draw, but actually looks like a pretty good point now. I think it's a case of getting a few players rested, trying maybe a couple of new things out. So maybe what can Hato do at left back, something like that. Getting a 2-3-4 goal win would be a nice confidence booster. Rest a few players ahead of trickier games to come, because you don't want to, overwork some of the players and then pick up needless injuries in this game before a much tougher game to come next.
Anyone wants to jump in?
Okay. I saw the what happened after the match. They interviewed some players from Tunisia after the match between Japan and Tunisia. One of the Tunisia players actually cried, complaining about the bad facilities they have in the country, about the bad preparation. So the atmosphere in the squad is really bad, Not only that they don't really have good players. No, the atmosphere itself is bad. So they're not really expecting anything from the match. Even the player said things are a lot bigger than just changing a coach. It has to be the mentality that has to actually change. So of course, this is football. We should take advantage of that. Winning with a big margin of goals is always good. Is always it's gonna be impressive. It's gonna be good. And of course, if we score more than 3 goals, we will have the highest number of goals ever in the group stage. We will break our 10 goals record that was made in 2014. What I hope for in this match against Tunisia, to make maybe 1 or 2 changes, because I still believe playing with the same back 4 defenders will not really help against big opponents. We saw Van de Ven struggling a little bit defensively. We saw Reinders is pretty much invisible. So I hope we try to fix that in the match against Tunisia. It's pretty much like a preparation match, more than a World Cup match. I think we should win this match without any trouble. And I believe we will.
Yeah, I also think that this is a chance to make changes. But Abdul, I disagree with you. I don't want to be changing that goalkeeper and back four. I want to keep that the same. I think that consistency is going to really help. But I do think that I'm now in a position where I really liked Johnny Reinders, but I think we need to try something else in there and experiment. This is what this game can be used for. We should win, albeit it might be a smaller margin if we rest half the team. But I want to see us playing mostly a strong team. Go for the win, get a few goals to finish top of the group, because I just think it helps with confidence. Rather than trying to pave a way to the final by finishing in a certain position in the group. I think Kluivert should start this one. Depends how fit he is, mind. I know that he hasn't had a minute so far in this World Cup, but just seeing how he has played in previous Netherlands games in that 10 position, just want to see what he's got to offer, really, even if it's for a half or an hour. And then up top, there seems to be a little bit of speculation as to whether Brobbey will start again. I want to see him start again personally. Whether Marlon will now lose his place in the starting 11, just some of it will come back in. I don't think we'll have something crazy, though, with, for example, Noah Lang coming in for Cody Gakpo. I don't think we're going to rest as much as that. I think those key players are still going to be there. We're still going to have Van Dijk. We're still going to have De Jong and Gakpo, unless, of course, there's an injury. So, yeah.
Yes. If I may, I'm only up to for 2 changes, actually. I want to see Nathan Ake, since he is the best left back we have in this squad, instead of Van de Ven, and maybe Koop Miners instead of Reinders. These are the only 2 changes I'm hoping to see, even if they play in the second half, not necessarily starters. These are the only 2 changes I want. I posted the starting 11 I was hoping for, but I put a flick in by mistake. I switched it right after that to Verbroch, and I agree with you. I don't think we should change the goalkeeper. These are the only 2 changes I want to see.
I love it when you tag in Ronald Koeman into your tweets as well sometimes. And you never know, Abdul, you never know. But he's followed a few of those tweets. So whether you have the same idea, we never know. Yeah, Finn, what are you making of our ramblings? Is this making sense to you? It's nice to have a different voice on the show, because, of course, you might disagree with what we've got to say. And obviously, that's very, very welcome.
No, yeah, I agree with Abdul. I said it before the tournament. I've said it for a while. I really like Nathan Ake. He's been great at tournaments that he's been at. The last 2 for the Netherlands, I think he's probably been our best defender. Van de Ven's just not a left back. I think that's pretty clear to see. His positioning is not good. I think maybe because he's so fast, he thinks he doesn't have to worry too much about his positioning.
Yeah, he relies upon it.
He can recover.
Yeah.
But I mean, you saw Elanga against him, just ran rings around him. So I'd like to see Ake too. And yeah, I'd also like to see a new number 10. I mean, again, I love Tijani Reinders, but I think it's clear. I think it's been clear at City as well this season. He's not a number 10. He's a number 8, and he's behind De Jong and Gravenberg, I think. So yeah, I'd quite like to see Kluivert. I also wouldn't mind seeing Guus Til, which is probably a little bit of an unpopular opinion. Maybe I'm biased because I'm a PSV fan, but I think with Brian Brobbey in the team, we're playing a lot more crosses into the box. And Til is obviously, he's great inside the box. He's decent in the air. So yeah, that would be a change I'd be pretty happy to see, but I'd be happy with Kluivert as well. Yeah.
Is anyone not worried about Ronald Koeman's comments after the Sweden game, where he was talking about Memphis and how he doesn't know how long he can keep him on the bench, and he's looking much fitter, and he's a really good pals with him. So it seems like Koeman, even though you were asking him about Brobbey, is Brobbey going to start? Is Brobbey going to keep his position? Koeman keeps bringing it back to Memphis, and he's going to start one of these games. So I've got a feeling the game against Tunisia will be Memphis up front, just to see how he does, give him the easy opponent, so that when it comes to the knockouts, Koeman can be like, well, he did well against Tunisia, so he's got to start this one.
Yeah. Yeah, it wouldn't shock me. I mean, I thought Brobbey I've said it for a while, I think he had something different that we probably need. I think with Malin as a striker and then 2 wingers, I think you're playing 3 very similar players that are quite one-dimensional. So I wouldn't mind Memphis in the sense that he'd offer a lot more creatively, but I don't know. I mean, if he's playing as a number 10 against Tunisia behind Brobbey, I think that's fine. I don't think you necessarily need 3 midfielders to be who can do defensive work against Tunisia. So I'd be up for seeing him behind Brobbey, but I mean, I feel like Brian Brobbey's got to start. I mean, I'm not sure if he will, but I think he needs to.
He should. Brobbey partially. He played the role of number 10 actually against Sweden. You know, the way he just gave the ball to Reinders and then he went to attack. That was amazing. We really missed a player to doing that. You know, for Oranje, we haven't seen any player doing that actually. I think he proved himself for the first time ever. He plays in a World Cup. He scores 2 goals. So he deserves to start against Tunisia. If Koeman is so in love with Memphis Depay, maybe he can let him play the second half to see what he can offer, but not a starter. Definitely not a starter.
But I've got to bring in Weghorst.
Yeah, I get that.
Point. Got to bring in Weghorst.
Yeah.
You know, he's been looking sharp in training. So, you know,
Yeah.
Memphis for the first half, Weghorst for the second half.
Painful jokes aside here, because I'll tell you what, I can absolutely see this playing out in this way. Abdul, you watched the press conference with Denzel Dumfries.
Yes.
Had this, and he actually spoke about Weghorst, didn't he? And he was kind of jumping into his defense a little bit.
Yes. Well, yeah, he spoke about Weghorst, that he is really excited to play. He's doing his best in the practice, and that's why maybe we saw some clips for him being rough a little bit on the ball and on his colleagues, or his teammates, I mean. So yeah, that's what he said about him, but he said it in a positive way. You know, that Weghorst is really hungry to play, really hungry to start. Or to play some minutes for Oranje. And he said the atmosphere is much better than any tournament he's been with for Oranje. So hopefully this will be a very big motive for the team to go far in this World Cup. Yeah.
Thoughts on Dumfries so far in this tournament, by the way? Because he could be someone that could be topped out for this next game. But I don't see it happening. I think Dumfries will play possibly even the full 90. But who's the replacement? Mats Vifa. Without Yuri and Timber there isn't that obvious replacement that's going to come in and take his place.
Yeah, no, I'm also pretty against the idea of like rotating the team strongly. I mean, I'm wearing the Euro 2008 shirt. Famously, Euro 2008, we got 2 incredible games, 3-0 Italy, 4-1 France. Rotated the whole starting 11 for the match against Romania, and we just lost all rhythm. You know, the players just got out of the loop, and we lost to Russia. So I think that's never a good idea, really, especially with a 26-man squad. I think you can, and with 5 subs, you can change plenty in the second half. But I think from a starting 11, you should start Dumfries and all the key players. And yeah, Dumfries is right up there. I mean, 2 assists the other day. I think I haven't looked into the numbers, but I think his goal contributions since he played his first tournament back in 2021, they must be pretty amazing. You know, it's so dangerous that there's still a debate as to whether we should play a back 5 just to get the best out of him.
Yeah, doesn't he have like, I might get this record wrong, I'm sure Abdul's got the number somewhere. Has he scored like 13 goals and 22 assists for the Netherlands? Like, yeah, I don't want to spout figures that may be incorrect, but I'm sure he's got at least 20 assists. That's very, 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 very good.
Yeah,
and they mainly come in big games in the big tournaments as well. You know.
Yeah. Yes.
Same with Gakpo though. Gakpo always turns on in the big tournaments. That's why he'll probably eventually break our, tournament scoring record if he keeps doing it for cup level. He'll probably got another couple of tournaments in him.
Yeah, I mean, only 2 players have got more World Cup goals for the Netherlands than Gakpo. Dennis Bergkamp and Robin van Persie, and Gakpo's 27, so it's pretty unbelievable. I saw a colleague at Flashscore said he's like a modern day Lucas Podolski, just ups his level for the national team. I think it's a pretty good comparison, really.
You see all Liverpool. fans joking about playing in orange kits away from home just to try and trick him into thinking he's playing for Netherlands and stuff like that.
No, I think Finn, it's more than 2 players. Many players have 6 goals with Oranje. Dennis Bergkamp, Wesley Sneijder has 6 goals also in total. I mean, not in one tournament, of course.
Yeah, no, I think it's in World Cups now. I'm pretty sure Gakpo's on. I have to go off, or if it's in major tournaments, maybe. But it might be across major tournaments. But it's Dennis Bergkamp on 10, Robin van Persie on 9, and Cody Gakpo on 8. I mean, it probably includes Euros as well, I think. But,
okay. In
yeah,
that case,
he's number 3.
Yeah, I was only referring to the World Cup. Maybe that's why. Yeah.
Yeah, no, World Cup. I think it's. Yeah, I think like you said, Sneijder. I think Johnny Rep as well is up there.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you throw in the Euros, it's pretty amazing what he does, to be honest.
Yes.
Cody Gakpo spoke, didn't he, in the media? Was it this week to someone, and he said that the difference between playing for Liverpool and the Netherlands is that the Netherlands he's simply a left winger, and there was even a pundit that was saying he was playing all these different positions at Liverpool, striker, try striker. Yeah, but it wasn't suiting his game, and his game is on the left wing. We criticise him being a little bit predictable out there at times, but he's providing. You can see in this competition that against Sweden, he just worked super for it. He had a little bit more space, to be fair, didn't he?
Yeah, I think he needs space. He's a player that he's not much of a 1v1 threat. Like, if he's got a defender in front of him, he's not going to be able to take them on in the way that maybe you'd see Somerville or Marlon be able to do. I think that's why he struggles in the Premier League. You know, there's a lot less time and space. He usually tends to have a right back pretty tight on him. And that's not his game, really. He's a lot better when there is space for him to have the ball really sort of build up some pace, which also does make you wonder if Liverpool and if the Premier League's the right place for him going forward.
Yeah, because he's been linked with Tottenham this summer. I'd quite like to see him go abroad, play somewhere outside the Premier League. I think it'd do wonders for him.
Yeah, I agree. I think really I think Germany or Italy or Spain, it would probably suit his game quite a bit more, I think.
Should we get into some predictions for the game? What do we think is going to happen against Tunisia? Finn, would you like to go first?
Yeah, I'll go first. I mean, it's a weird one because I think everybody in the world knows we're going to win. Like, I'm not even afraid of jinxing it. I mean, this Tunisia team, it's a complete crisis. Players are wanting to leave. The manager's already left. They've got a new one in. They made Sweden look good, which, I mean, even before our match against Sweden, I was kind of taken aback by that when you look at how Sweden qualified. So I think it's going to be pretty comfortable. I'll say 5-0. I think Gakpo will probably get a few more. Somerville, I think, is going to start ahead of Malen. Up front, yeah, like Mike was saying, it could be Memphis or Brobby. But yeah, I'll say 5-0, a few more Gakpo goals, and top spot in the group, yeah.
I would say it's going to be our biggest. I would say it's going to be our biggest win ever in a World Cup. Hopefully, it's going to be 6-0. Yeah, I do have some Tunisian friends who might be angry at this, but I'm not only about how good we are; it's about how bad they are nowadays. So I'm expecting us to win 6-0, and even the players who will come in, as subs, I think they will try so hard to impress. So I'm expecting us to attack the entire match, and I think this is going to be the first match that we will keep a clean sheet.
I'll go slightly more pessimistic and say 3-0.
Okay.
Because I've seen us before, thinking we're going to rack up goals against teams that are worse than us and struggle to get the first one, and then eventually get another couple. So I think 3-0.
Well, that makes me feel really pessimistic because when you say that, I've been predicting games throughout the competition and always saying things like, "Oh, it'll be a draw, the Netherlands won't win." This time I will go a Netherlands win. I am also going to say 3-0, because is what I was thinking. And maybe those players rotated later in the game, we might lose a little bit of flow. So, yeah, I'll get that. I feel like my connection is dropping out, but
I can
As
still hear
Mike-
you fine. The video is a bit choppy, but
As
everyone's
Mike,
looking at my face. It's all frozen.
as Mike said, Memphis maybe was going to score 2 goals, and then Koeman is going to say, "Yeah, see, he's ready to play in knockout stages." So
Yeah, then
hopefully
we get
that's
knocked.
Yes.
Yeah, then we get knocked out when he starts up front against Morocco, and then everyone goes, "Why did you start? Why did you start Memphis?" And then too late.
one thing I do think is that there's obviously all this talk of, oh, should we come top of the group? Should we come second? You know, would we start thinking about that if we don't want to score too many and end up top or whatnot? But I think it doesn't really matter. Like, regardless of if we're first or second, we face Brazil and Morocco in the next round. I mean, one, we don't know which one it's going to be. Okay, by the time we play, we'll know. But also, I don't think there's really that much difference between them, between Brazil and Morocco. Like, I don't think there's an opponent there that you would clearly favor over the other. It's not like we're going to be getting, you know, like Portugal or Uzbekistan. You know, it's 2 top teams, and I think both are going to be a massive challenge. So I don't think it really matters, like, overthinking it and thinking, oh, let's take it easy to try and get second in the group instead to play, you know, Brazil instead of Morocco or vice versa.
Before the World Cup started, we made a simulation. You know, if we come first or second or third, coming third is definitely the worst, because all the matches will be tough from the round of 32 until all the way to the final. We'll be facing Spain, England, France, you name it, you know. So the best thing is actually to win the group. It's not an easy route neither, but it's the best route at least.
Yeah, I mean, the interesting thing is if we win the group, the round of 32 will be really tough, Morocco, Brazil. But after that, we get a round of 16, which will probably be against someone from the group with Canada and Switzerland, which isn't the strongest group. Or maybe the group with, I can't remember what the other group is. But either way, the round of 16 match, if we finish top of the group, if we got there, we'd be the favourites for it. I'm not saying it's easy, because nothing's ever that easy with this Netherlands side, but we would be the favourites for it. And yeah, I mean, if we finish third and there's a disaster, then we get France in the round of 32, which I know that's one of the teams that I'm pretty certain we wouldn't have a chance against.
Yeah.
I think what we're all discounting here is the fact that Scotland are playing against Brazil, and Scotland could beat Brazil and then finish second. I think that's what we're all discounting here. That's what we're probably hoping for.
Yeah, I am right enough, but it's not impossible. If you look at Morocco drew to Brazil and they were the better team, Morocco then only beat Scotland 1-0. So, hey, by that logic, you never know.
Scott McTominay, you never know. Overhead kick against Brazil, 1-0 win.
Scotland were so close against Morocco. They should have equalized early, especially in the last 15 minutes. They attacked. They put so much pressure on Morocco, but unfortunately they did not score. Hopefully they will against Brazil this time.
Yeah, it'd help us a lot. I mean, 2 penalty shouts against Morocco as well. Things could be looking really different for the Netherlands right now if they'd got one of those penalties, I think.
Yeah, good point about the routes. After this, I think that we'll see Scotland pull a surprise against Brazil, and it'll be like a draw. Morocco will win their game, and then we'll end up facing Brazil. But maybe we can take confidence in the fact that they're not. They might have only won 1 out of their 3 group games. But yeah, it's a scary thought playing either Brazil or Morocco. This Morocco at the moment in the round of 32. But I see your point. The round of 16 games not going to be as difficult on paper as a round of 32 game. But it's a quarterfinal onwards. It's just too many tough games. No matter the simulation, I just keep seeing it, and I'm thinking, I don't know how we're going to do this. I don't know how this German economist made his calculations.
Yeah, I wouldn't be feeling great if I was him after watching France and Spain, especially. I think I'd actually so for work for Flashscore, I'm working on a column that Frans Hoek, the former set piece and goalkeeping coach for the Netherlands, is doing for us. And he said he'd rather face Brazil than Morocco in his latest column, which I hear quite a lot of people saying that. I get it, but I've just got a feeling that Brazil under Ancelotti, I think they're going to figure things out. I think they are going to get better as the tournament goes. So I probably would rather face Morocco, I think. But yeah, it's pretty tight. I mean, I don't know what you guys think about those two, which one you'd rather play.
I think facing the worst Brazil scares me more than facing the best Morocco, because always big names know how to play in knockout stages. That's why I prefer facing Morocco, although they are a lot stronger. They seem, a lot stronger than Brazil in this tournament.
Yeah, I very much said that we have a decent record against Brazil, so it wouldn't be the worst thing ever. But I think if you can shut down Morocco's one or two best players, then you have a better chance of getting in behind their defense. I think defensively, Morocco can be got at. Whereas Brazil, I think Brazil have a lot of levels to their game that they can rise, and there's a lot more threat. Rafinha's out, which is good. I don't think they've got their striker right yet. Playing Cunha up there, I think might not be the best. And the ones that they've brought as backup, not the strongest. It's a good thing they didn't bring João Pedro. I think I'd be a lot more scared about playing him if he was there. But they've also got Vinny Jr. So at any point he can do something magical and score. So yeah, I think if you put the two teams on paper, you'd much rather avoid Brazil, I think.
Yeah, I think it's like we're under Koeman, we're so vulnerable to counterattacks, and that is actually one of the things Brazil have shown they're good at this World Cup, especially through Vinny Jr. And like our style of play means that our right back is pushed up really high a lot of the time. So you'd end up in situations where it's kind of Vinny Jr. counterattacking 1v1 with Van Hecker, and I don't like the idea of that. I don't think that would go well. So I think we'd really be done in the transition against Brazil.
Agreed.
Okay. Thank you, Finn, for joining us today, and thank you all for listening to the show. We will wrap up here. Our plans then, the Football-Oranje podcast after the Tunisia game, are that we are going to go live after the game, and you are very welcome and invited to join us, listeners. Obviously, it's going to be a ridiculous time for me in the UK, and Abdul, it's going to be like 4 a.m. for you when we're recording it. But we're going to do a very, very short reaction, 10 minutes probably. But we'll be back then on the evening of that day. So Friday evening, we're going to do a Football-Oranje fan forum. It's the second one of its kind. And we'll run it at 7 p.m. UK time. So you can work out your various time zones around the world to come on to that live if you can. But it'll be on YouTube anyway, regardless after if you miss it. We've got some guests lined up for that already. People that are listeners of the show are going to join us. And then the day after that, Saturday, we will do our round of 32 preview against whichever team we face. So a lot of podcasts to come, and we hope you can join us for all of them. But for now, thank you for listening, and drop us down below a comment on YouTube what you're thinking ahead of this one. And of course, give this video a like. We're going to say goodbye then. I think my pitch is still very choppy. You ready for this? You want to see me waving. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
Oh, I might have to edit this. I can't get the button to end the recording because my laptop's frozen that much. Literally, it is so bad. I can hear you all perfectly.